What single event restored your faith in humanity? For months, I sat alone on the school bus. I was 13, the quiet kid with thick glasses and hand-me-down clothes that never fit right. My dad had bailed when I was 9, and Mom worked 2 jobs just to keep our lights on. I didn't have a phone, couldn't afford to play sports, and definitely didn't have the right sneakers. The other kids noticed everything. Every morning when I climbed those bus steps, the whispering would start. Someone once stuck a dirty sock to my backpack and said it was a donation from the thrift store. Kids would kick my seat from behind, make gagging sounds when I walked by, or loudly discuss weekend plans they knew I couldn't afford to join. The bus driver, Mr. Lang, was this older guy with gray hair and tired eyes who always just stared straight ahead and minded his own business. I never told Mom about any of it. She'd come home exhausted from her cleaning job at the hospital, then head out to stock shelves at the grocery store until midnight. The last thing she needed was me whining about mean kids, so I just kept my mouth shut and tried to become invisible. Then one Thursday morning in February, I got on the bus and found my usual spot in the front. The regular torture session started up behind me. This kid Ryan kept kicking my seat over and over while his buddies laughed. 2 girls behind them were whispering just loud enough for me to hear about how my shoes looked like they came from a dumpster. I kept my eyes glued to the floor, counting the little black dots on the rubber mat. That's when the bus suddenly jerked to a stop. Mr. Lang slowly pulled over to the curb, turned off that big rumbling engine, and stood up. The whole bus went dead silent. You could hear kids shifting in their seats, wondering what was happening. He didn't yell or threaten anyone with detention. He just walked slowly down the aisle with his stiff back and sat down right next to me. He looked at me with these kind eyes I'd never really noticed before and said, "I should have done this a long time ago." Then for the next 10 minutes, Mr. Lang spoke to the entire bus. His voice was calm but serious. He told them how he used to be the kid nobody sat with when he was growing up, how kids would throw things at him, call him names, make him eat lunch alone in the bathroom. He said that pain stayed with him even now, 50 years later. Some nights he'd still wake up remembering how it felt to be treated like garbage by his classmates. He said I was one of the most polite, respectful kids he'd ever driven, that I always said good morning, never caused trouble, never left trash on his bus. He said anyone who had a problem with me had a problem with him too, and that from now on, things were going to be different. Then he looked at me and asked, "Would you like to sit up front with me from now on?" I nodded, too stunned to speak. My throat felt all tight and weird. I picked up my beaten-up backpack and moved to the seat right behind the driver. Nobody said a single word. Ryan stared out the window like he was suddenly fascinated by the passing houses. From that day on, nobody bothered me, not once. When kids got loud or rowdy, Mr. Lang would just glance in his big mirror and they'd settle down. And every morning after that, he'd wait by the front steps of the school to greet me with a fist bump before I got off. He started asking about my classes, remembered when I had tests coming up, even brought me a sandwich one day when he noticed I didn't have lunch money. Turned out he'd been watching everything the whole time. He just needed to find his courage to step in. 3 months later, Mom got a better job with benefits, and we moved to a different district. On my last day, Mr. Lang pulled me aside and handed me a folded piece of paper. It had his address and phone number written in careful handwriting. He said if I ever needed anything, even just someone to talk to, I should call him. I kept that paper in my wallet for years, never had to use it, but knowing it was there changed something in me.